I don't know. It feels a little warm. Hey, everybody. What's going on? This is your brother Assad,
And Adrian.
and this is going to be a quick video. Okay, let me explain something. My mother is a teacher. She is a teacher. She taught 40 years. And my father is a Baptist minister. And my mother is a lecturer type teacher. You know, she likes to get into it, whatever have you. And anybody who is familiar with the Black Baptist Church, they know that when the preacher says, I'm closing, I'm about to wrap up, I'm about to take my seat, it's about to be another 50 to an hour, 50 minutes to an hour before he sits down. So when I get to running off at the mouth, just know I got it naturally. I got it honest. So I apologize for telling y'all it's gonna be a quick video and y'all thinking it's 5 minutes and it's 35 minutes. So, but we wanted to address some comments. So let's first talk about what happened with the comments. So for the last maybe 5 videos that we posted, some going all the way back to June when we were actually in South Africa, we were getting likes and we were getting views, but we were not getting any comments.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on. And this last video that we put out like 2 days ago, it like hit like 4 or 5,000 views. And for us, that's big. That's big league. Like, oh yeah, we doing it real big. I feel like I'm YouTube famous. You did? I feel like I'm a superstar on these YouTube streets. That was my first hit record. Anyway, but no, honestly. But it was a lot of views and no comments. Mm-hmm. So my very intelligent wife, who is far more intelligent than I am, decided to investigate. Yeah. And we realized that the comment settings were changed somehow to where I had to approve each comment. So I just spent about the last hour and a half approving comments, and I'm usually pretty good about, like, when someone comments on a YouTube video, I engage, I respond, at least say thank you. So I was trying to do that, but I got to keep it 100. It's too much. It's too much. I can't do it. So
not at one time.
Instead of doing that, we're gonna do a video. Right. And talk about some of the themes. Since I can't address each comment, we're going to address the themes of the comments. Yeah. So I'll take the first one.
Okay, what is it?
All right. So the first theme that I noticed in the comments was how welcoming and loving South Africans are to us. If I read the word welcome one more time. Nah, but I mean, welcome back, welcome home, welcome to my country. You and your beautiful wife are welcome. And fellas, keep calling my wife beautiful. I'm going to start feeling some kind of way. It's only so many beautifuls I'm going to take. But, yeah. We really appreciate the welcomes that we received, and people were saying, when you come, I'll host you, and I want to show you this. Man,
I'll hold you to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold you to it because I want to see around.
I'm trying to get to the bride in December.
You understand?
Bride season. That's what they told us.
I want some bride.
I want some bride. I want to go to the townships. Let's go.
Right. I don't want to go to Hillbrow. Hillbrow's not a township, but I don't ever want to go there again. And we'll talk about that shortly. But yeah, definitely, man, we appreciate all of the welcome messages and welcome home, and SA is your country and you're our brother, and all of that stuff. And it's just very sweet. It's very sweet. Yeah, it is very sweet. You know what South Africans remind me of, though? Mm-hmm. They remind me of Southern Black folk. Like with that very welcoming and warm, like,
especially if you got the country.
If you go out into the country, right? That very welcoming and warm, making sure you're, hey, I got this for you, baby. All that type of stuff. So yeah.
New Orleans was kind of like that too. I remember I went to a Mardi Gras one time on the West Bank. I was in a neighborhood and people were offering me plates of food and everything.
New Orleans is definitely like that. Mm-hmm. They will. They are very welcoming people. Mm-hmm. The only problem is that they have AK-47s. That they have AK-47s and they're on opiates, and it's just juxtaposition. No. New Orleans people are very welcoming and very loving. That's one thing they are. with all of the negativity and the violence and all that good stuff, there's still some very loving people. I'm a New Orleans. I'll never, knock them. So, what's the second thing?
I noticed a few people getting on there, just keep in mind South Africa's not all roses and everything's not perfect and
Yeah.
la la la. We know that.
Exactly.
We're grown. We've been around a long time. We travel quite a bit in our days.
Right.
No place is perfect. Every
At
place
all.
has its problems.
And no place is perfect for every person. There's someone living in South Africa who has the same feelings about South Africa that I may have about the U.S. right now. Right? There's a very strong, a very strong critique of where they are. And here's the thing. And I wrote this on the comment. There's this kind of pericope metaphor that says a man was having a conversation with a fish, and he asked the fish, how do you live and all of that water? And the fish looked around and said, what water? Right? Yeah. Because the fish is in an environment where he's immersed in something that is his natural environment. He doesn't see water. He sees his natural environment. So I think that's what we see when we go. We're like the man. When we go to South Africa, we're seeing like all of this stuff, and South Africans are living in it, right, every day. And we're seeing all the beauty, like, man, this place is great. This is off the chain. And they're like, what are you talking about? Right. You know what I'm saying? They don't see it. Oftentimes they don't see it. I'm sure many do. So I don't want to generalize or whatever have you. But we see it. And I'm sure when people come to the U.S., maybe they have that feeling. I know people who come to New Orleans and get that feeling. And I'm like, are you serious?
I want to move here and they love it.
You want to move here?
You never want to leave.
Man. But so.
We like it.
We like SA.
You don't have to like it.
We like it. Right? We like SA. We think it's off the chain. And everybody may not feel the same, but everybody doesn't like polo shirts either.
Let me tell you, everybody I've run into, every American I've run into that's been to South Africa, white, black, or whatever, loves South Africa.
Bar none.
And not all of them were just visitors. Some lived there, worked there.
I have spoken to so many people in the U.S., friends or whatever have you, people that I just met at work colleagues, and mentioned South Africa. Oh, I love SA. I love it. It's so beautiful. So, everybody has a different perception. And I just think, shout out to those who hold a strong critique of their country. Now, it's important because critique leads to change, and change leads to progression. So you have to have that critique,
right?
But how can I say this delicately?
Is that our role?
Well, it's not my role to critique SA. Right. I know full well that when I come to South Africa, I am a visitor.
Right.
When we move to South Africa, we will still be visitors or immigrants, and we are in no place to critique a country that we chose to relocate to. That would be silly, right? I lost my train of thought. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Next. Cool. The Hillbrow. So I wanted to address this, full on. Hillbrow scared the stuff out of me, and I am from one of the worst cities in the world. Like, they talk about SA being the murder. I heard someone say SA, or maybe Cape Town was the murder capital. New Orleans has been the murder capital of the United States for years. And I think now
it's not anymore.
It's not anymore. Yeah. St. Louis is, but we're still only like number 5. We're like out of all the cities in the United States, we're number 5 in terms of murder rate. But Hillbrow was, unique because it's one thing to go into the hood in New Orleans, because I'm from here. I know what's going on. I know what to expect.
Right.
But going to Hillbrow, I was shook. Straight up shook.
Yeah. I was shook. Bearings.
Yeah, I had to get my
stand out like a sore thumb.
Man,
because of the way we're dressed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was different. But
that was a video we did in our channel a little while.
But with that being said, I don't want people to think like, let me see this. Like, Hillbrow is I wouldn't go to Chicago and go to the West Side, or I wouldn't go to LA and go to Compton or Slauson or whatever have you, because I am not from those areas. So I made that mistake by going to Hillbrow. but I don't want anyone to
But you went there not knowing where you were going.
not knowing where I was going, right? Not knowing where I was going. So that was, yeah, that was deep, really, really, really deep. But I said all that to say that when people point out how dangerous Hillbrow is, I'm like, I am from one of the most dangerous cities on planet Earth, and that's nothing to be proud of. Which, oddly enough, when we quote unquote became the murder capital in like 1994, New Orleanians were like walking around like that was a badge of honor. That ain't nothing good, homie. That's horrible.
I know.
But so every place has their hoods, has their their ghettos, their rough areas or whatever have you. So Hillbrow was an experience that I get to sit back and laugh about. I put the children in counseling to make sure that they're to make sure that they're all right. Trauma is real. Trauma is real. But
my goodness.
what else do we have? We actually made a list so we wouldn't get caught up like we did last time.
So another thing that we talked about because we weren't sure was this idea of colored. And like, are colored people, do they consider themselves black? Like here in the deep. US, if you are mixed with Black, African, whatever, you are black.
That's black.
The category, and I wish I could pop up a picture of my own mother to show y'all, like, you can be really, really light
and still be considered black. Yeah.
So that we got a lot of response on that.
Yeah.
A lot of people
were saying. So I think generally they were saying that colored people are a separate group, like a separate ethnicity. I don't know if that's like the
cultural group.
Cultural group. Yeah, that's what they use. Cultural group, separate cultural group. And someone said that in the comments that Asian people can be colored, white people can be colored. It is about where you grew up, the neighborhood, and the culture you grew up in to be considered colored. Because I was watching Blood and Water, right? And I was actually not watching I watched the series. But then I was watching a YouTube kind of like promo for it with one of the stars of the show. I forget his name, who he the character he played. But in that interview, he was saying he was colored, and I was like, that's clearly a black African to me, But I guess it was the neighborhood that he grew up in, or whatever have you, to be considered colored. And another unique thing about the United States or New Orleans in South Africa is that we have this kind of subgroup of people. We call them Creole, right? And Creole is used differently in different contexts. You have your Haitian Creoles or whatever have you. But in New Orleans, we have a group of black people. They identify as black. However, they are considered Creole mainly because they're real light skinned, and there's years of selective breeding. Is that a correct terminology? Or selective mating? Let's say it like that. Selective mating to maintain this light skin look. They used to have stuff called paper bag test. So if you were darker than a brown paper bag, you were not allowed to kind of hang with them, go to their parties, date their girls or whatever. But they still identified as African Americans, but they were like this distinct group of African Americans in New Orleans. And they're not so much like that anymore. Those kind of days
of yesteryear.
Yeah, that's growing up a few years before.
Couldn't maintain the numbers. Gotta let it go.
They end up, one daughter end up marrying a brown skinned guy, and that's a wrap.
That's over.
Those African genes kick in real quick. That light skin privilege is gone.
Just like that.
Yeah. What else we got? I can't read that. But that's
you wanted to talk about the similarities between Africans and
so yeah. Hold on one second.
That's my chicken scratch.
So Adrian says it's not hot in the house right now, but I'm sweating, and
it's the lights. You're just sitting over there.
I don't know.
Right, kitchen lights.
But it's cool in New Orleans right now, right? The weather has changed a little bit.
Got this on.
Yeah. But I actually wore a sweatshirt to work and it was fine. But right now it's a little warm in the house. I'm sweating like like Smokey and Debo's pigeon coop. But that's cool. That's cool. We want to make sure the wife is comfortable. Um, so a lot of comments revolved around the similarities between Africans and African Americans and South Africans,
Yes.
right? And I mean, it's we touched on this. I think in every video, and it's part of the reason why we feel this affinity towards South Africa. The music. I was watching Casper Nyavos. I don't know. He in the video he said he made that word up, so it's not even like a
Oh,
yeah, it's not even like
okay.
a South African word. He said he made it up, and he made it up listening to um Pharrell say yes sir.
Mm.
So he was trying to come up with a word like that. But anyway, he mentioned specifically in this video, I mean in this interview, he was on Sway in the Morning, right? And he was like, growing up, we really looked up to Black Americans from the hip hop
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
And like um we wanted to be, and he made a song called Americans, right? Kind of showing like, I guess the song is really complex because it's like in a way he's saying, here we are, but we're not getting the respect. We look up to the hip hop community, but we're not getting the same respect. And I think the chorus goes like, I can make Americans pass out, something like that. Basically saying, if you give me the shot, I can show you I can rock this crowd. So, but anyway, with that being said, we did mention that we knew that South Africans would understand the "Lean on Me" reference, the Fair East Side, and
I wasn't quite sure. I didn't know.
without doubt, they were
But yeah,
they're in the comments like
that
that
was
was
my
one of my favorite
movie.
movies. We know it. We just know it. It's one person said, growing up watching like African Americans on TV felt like they had kinfolk on the other side of the world who didn't know that they exist or something like that. I think that was the comment. And if I'm misquoting, I apologize, but it was a comment like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, well now we know.
That's kind of true, right? Like we didn't
We
know.
didn't know.
And I
Well,
keep telling you, when I met my friend in Tanzania who's South African, it was like meeting a
a
long
cousin.
lost sister or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
It clicked just like
Tight.
that. And I was like,
Click
"What?
tight.
Hello,
Hmm.
where are you from?"
Very, very easy to get along with. But the thing about it is that we had some inclinations. So check this out. Someone else mentioned that Steve Biko was inspired by like Malcolm X. Steve Biko in the Black Consciousness Movement
Yeah.
was inspired by Malcolm X. I said, well, watch this. Denzel played Steve Biko in the movie,
Hmm.
and then he went on to play Malcolm X,
Hmm.
right? But I said to say that we have had these stories of South Africa in the American landscape, right? Denzel is
Hmm.
like our, actor god,
Yeah.
So any movie that he was in, Black Americans saw it, right? So we knew about Steve Biko, again, the Cosby Show and their references um, to the twins being named Winnie
Hmm.
and Nelson and all that good stuff, or different worlds showing the apartheid episode
Hmm.
on a different world. So we
Yeah.
had these understand, and then Nelson Mandela, who did not know, Nelson
Yeah.
Mandela,
True.
at one time I thought Nelson Mandela was African American. I listen, when I was young and we learned Black history, when we were learning Black history in church, then listen, I'm 7 or 8, you
Oh,
know.
okay. So how
I
does
was
this happen?
I wasn't this wasn't graduate level understanding. I'm saying but he was such a part of the teachings, like the Black history teaching, Dr. King.
That is true.
Yeah, it was very true.
Hmm.
Malcolm wasn't even taught as much as Mandela
Yeah.
because Malcolm was considered,
Hmm. Hmm.
too radical or whatever have you. So yeah, I was like, oh, I read that he was South African, but I it wasn't until I was older that I
Yeah.
realized, oh, okay, this was a
Hmm.
part of a kind of a international history and whatever have you. So look, we didn't reach 20 minutes already.
Oh,
Yeah, it went by pretty quick.
it did. It
Yeah,
did.
it went by pretty quick. Well,
And then the only other thing is there's so many folks that kept telling us, y'all should be interviewed by the real South African.
oh
Y'all
yeah,
should meet the real South African.
shout out to the real South Africa. Mark and Dr. Latasha, when we discovered them after we went
After
to
that 2019
after
trip.
after the
Yeah.
2019 trip. We found them on YouTube, and they were just the YouTube videos were a wealth of information. So I reached out to Mark and Latasha one time and spoke with them, had a conversation on the phone. You know, I really appreciate what they're doing for Africans in the diaspora, introducing them to South Africa and telling them to come home and visit South Africa, the real South Africa. And in fact, I
Yeah.
even like that terminology, the real South African. It's I don't know, maybe they'll explain, but I believe the reason why they use the real South Africa is because of those negative
Yeah.
perceptions of
Yeah.
Africa, whatever have
Mm-hmm.
you. So yeah, shout out to them and their channel. They're doing a wonderful
Yeah.
job.
And they're
Um,
representing us so well.
they do
You
represent
know,
Black
they
Americans well.
represent us well.
Yeah,
You
you know,
know, they
no
have a
no gold
top-notch
teeth.
business. Right. Top-notch business. If I gotta put forth a standard, well, come on, y'all, step forward. You've done a great job, you know.
Yeah. They're not thugging it out. Yeah.
No.
So shout out to them. Yeah.
Indeed.
So definitely, hopefully, when we get to South Africa, we actually have a chance to meet them in person.
Yeah.
You know, we have met Asha, and Asha means life. Shout out to Asha. If you guys
Tasha
are
means life.
if you guys are familiar with her, that's cool. If not, go and subscribe to her channel because she is another African American who officially now is a South African. She relocated last month in November,
Yeah.
and we look forward to hanging with her when we get to South Africa in December. You know, and she has a wonderful story. I believe she said she saw the documentary Blacks Without Borders
Mm-hmm.
about Black Americans moving to South Africa. This was right after the end of apartheid, I think early 2000 or something like that. And she made up her mind then to move to South Africa. She waited till she retired, went to South Africa for like 90 days,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And came back and started her visa process. And bam, she is now a South African.
Made
So
it happen.
she made it happen.
Yep.
You know, and I just hope that more Black Americans, African Americans, start considering the continent as a place to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's South Africa, Ghana. I know a lot of Black Americans are
Yeah.
in Ghana. A lot of Black Americans in Tanzania. Dar es Salaam is
Rwanda.
yeah,
Yeah.
Rwanda. Yeah. So I like the wave. I like the
Mm-hmm.
wave. I do like the wave that more Black Americans are waking up and choosing Africa to relocate. But I also want more Black Americans to consider it a tourist destination, a
Right.
vacation destination.
Right.
And I think that's what the real South Africa is doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, introducing people to South Africa so they could say, "Oh, dang, this is a great place to go." You know, a
Right.
great place to visit or whatever have you. Because let's be honest, 40 million Black Americans are not about to relocate to Africa.
No.
Africa can't absorb that many people. But if we can get our people to start making these connections to the continent, right?
Right.
To where they can use our expertise and we can use their expertise again to build a
Mm-hmm.
synergy between the continent and African Americans. You know, we can really elevate the position of both groups of people. You
Right.
know,
Right.
um, yeah, we're one group of people, but both
Mm-hmm.
African Americans and continental Africans. You know, and you know, for us, it gives us the opportunity to reconnect to our land mass. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to reconnect to our land mass is very important.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really do hope that this trend continues. There are so many YouTube videos and groups popping up
Mm-hmm.
that have relocated to the continent, and I try to watch them all, try to subscribe to them all, check out their videos or
Yeah.
whatever have you. But I don't want to hold anyone any longer. It's been 24 minutes now, and I need to go work out. So thank you guys for supporting this channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Anybody that wants to link up, I put my email address about 50 times in the comments on the last video. And I will put it again in the description of this video to to So if you guys want to link up, send me an email, and I will definitely respond. I'm pretty good at responding to emails, and we are interested in networking with as many people as possible. And somebody made some good suggestions about places to go, like kind of everyday places in the comments. So yeah, to go get some grub. So we'll do that.
Yeah.
And all right then. Peace out. Peace and blessings, love, all that good stuff. Anything else you want to add?
No.
No?
Nothing
Okay.
else.
All right.
See you next time, guys.
That was abrupt. No.
We'll never end if we don't end now.
All right. We out.